Okay.
So I imagine this film was a little bit easier to watch than the last one.
Yeah, definitely when you win, it's always because you know the final result. It's kind of like watching the movie, you know who the good guys win, the way you look at it when I watch it. That's good, but there's a lot of mistakes we made in that football game, and we really need to improve this week to be able to beat CSU.
You guys, the first 2 weeks, obviously a lot of rushing attempts, more than you guys have ever had here. Is that kind of by what the defense is giving you, or is that really what you'd like to see?
We're able to run the football, and we're able to get the teams on their heels. And you know, if you can run the football consistently like that, you got a good chance of winning a lot of football games. Now, if a team loads the box up and we're going to throw it, we can throw the football too. But you know, if you can be balanced like that and be able to run it well, that helps your team a lot. And that's something we'll keep trying to do.
How important is it for you guys to be establishing that in these first early games?
Well, I think it's real important. We improved from the first year to the second year in rushing, and we've improved this year. You know, and we're going to play some teams. They're going to stop the run some, and we'll be able to throw it. But they're going to have to commit to stop the run, which helps the passing game.
You mentioned that you were going to watch the CSU game last night. What were kind of just your impressions of that?
Yeah, I watched the game. I thought it was a unbelievable game. A game that CSU should have won. And I thought it was a heck of a football game, and you know, honestly felt bad for CSU losing like that. It was a tough game for them to lose.
Obviously, without getting into specifics with Rashard Higgins' situation in the air, do you almost have to have two different game plans for this game?
You got to know where Rashard Higgins is, but I mean, they've got a lot of other really good weapons that can really make a lot of plays. And Hensley, 25, he can make a lot of plays. He was open a couple of times last night, and they just barely missed him. You know, he's a really good player.
Two quarterbacks they played. Does that make it tougher to prepare?
No, because it didn't look like they really completely changed the offense when they switched the quarterbacks. Now, if one was a option guy and one was all passing, yet you would. But it didn't look like to me from what we've watched on film and saw in the game last night, that it looked like they just changed the offense at all.
Akello had a tough day yesterday, and then John Walker goes in there and played pretty well. Is there maybe a change there, or is it?
Well, there was a change in the game because it didn't go that well, and that's part of always everybody's got to be ready, and that's part of having depth from guys that have played a lot. In the past, we would have just had to just live with it, but now we've had more guys that have played, and hopefully Akello will have a good week of practice and bounce back. And he's played good in games, and John's had his moments too, so that shows you we have depth, and we're able to do that and help us kind of stop the bleeding there and get going. So everybody has a bad day every once in a while, and it's good to have guys that can come in and take up the slack and keep working.
Does John ever surprise you with his physicalness for his size?
Yeah, John is physical for his size. There's no doubt about it. And he's gotten bigger and stronger like the rest of the guys. I mean, he's gained about 8 or 9 pounds, and he's bench pressing a lot and squat. I mean, he is really strong. I mean, he's one of our best squatters pound for pound of anybody on the team. I mean, he's powerful.
Your passing game hasn't been as hasn't done as well as it did last year at the start of the season. Is that a concern, or are you just happy with how well the running game has been?
No, we haven't thrown as much. I mean, if we need to throw it 50 times a game to win it, I bet you our passing game will look good. And the way we're doing it right now, to be able to do what we did the other day was good. And in the Hawaii game we were able to run. We just had a couple penalties here and there that hurt us. And I like the ability to be able to run the football.
Rick Gamboa's had some nice plays for you.
Yes.
Coming in off is he a guy that continues to improve for you?
Yeah, Rick is doing a really good job. Rick's a really heady football player, very physical, understands the game, has gotten himself in phenomenal shape from last year. He lost about 12 pounds and put on muscle, and Rick's a very good football player. We trust Rick out there completely.